Hi, welcome back to Lakeside Farm. Today I just want to respond to a few of the questions that I was asked when I posted that video of supplementing real goats with foods that you actually make yourself. I was supposed to post this video last weekend actually, but I got involved into an accident and one thing led to another, so I couldn't post it. But today I'm here to tell you one thing first before I even go into responding to those questions. In goat farming, there is nothing like a one-size-fits-all system or a one-size-fits-all method. That means you can do research, you can find out ways of improving things by yourself without actually following all the things that we are telling you about, or actually getting the things that we are telling you and finding out your own way or your own methods that can work for you. Question number one, someone asked me, can that feed that you formulate be given to baby goats? And question number two was that how much of that food can you actually give to your goats? To respond to the first question, I will discourage you from giving this food to baby goats. Why? Because their intestines or their insides are still very fragile. They are not yet used to solid foods, and they need to first get used to grass before they actually graduate to eating this kind of food. So what you do when your baby goats are about a week or two, start introducing them to grass. For us, what we used to do is that we introduced our goats to caliandra, but of course where they are now, there is no caliandra, so we introduced them to bugando. Bugando is this kind of feed that you see these little goats eating, and eventually their stomachs get stronger, and when their stomachs get stronger, that's at about 4 weeks or 1 month, you can then introduce them to this food. But even then, don't give them a lot. For a baby goats, you can give them just a handful of that food so that their stomachs go on getting used to this food, and make sure they can't access it where you store it, because if they happen to access it where you store it, they will go for it, eat it, get bloated, and die. You know, young goats are not like adult goats. They are not as strong as big goats. So ensure that this food is stored away from where they can access. Also, make sure that you give it to them when they are at least a month old. But like I've said, they can be a month old for you to give them this food, but that is after you've introduced them to grass. You can introduce them to caliandra, you can introduce them to alfalfa, and when their stomachs are now mature enough to handle solid food, then you can introduce the other food gently as they start growing. Question number two was that how much of this food can you give to your goats? Well, this I'm telling you out of experience and out of the experimenting that we were doing and what worked for us. We were giving each goat at least 2 cups a day. So we were counting that if we have 100 goats, how many cups we have to put in their feedlot to ensure that each goat can have at least 2 cups in a day. Well, they say a goat eats 3 kilograms a day, but I seriously doubt that, because I'm sure goats eat more than 3 kilograms a day, because goats can really eat and eat and eat. If you don't stop them, they won't stop themselves. But let's say they eat 3 kilograms a day. So let at least 1 of these kilograms be this feed. And that means you're going to give them 2 cups. 2 cups will measure to 1 kilogram. And then after giving them that 1 kilogram, you let them eat grass for the rest of the day. And this will make a good mix in their stomach and avoid the bloating. But remember, like I said, make sure you give them this food after every 2 days in a week. So you give them Monday, skip Tuesday and Wednesday, and then give them on Thursday. You keep on doing like that, and like that. Well, someone else was asking me that, can this feed be given to cows? Well, cows and goats are similar. Cows are large ruminants, goats are small ruminants. And if you have cows, I would encourage you to try it, but don't go overboard at once. What you do is introduce this food and give them slowly but surely and see how they are responding to it. If you see that it's working for you, then you can now go fully into it and start feeding your cows onto that kind of feeds. And like I've told you, in farming, there is no one size fits all method. We cannot say that this method or this feed is what is good for my animals, or this system is what is good for my animals. You have to know that even you as a farmer, you can do your own research. Try and find out new information. Try and read. Try and experiment on a few animals and see how this works. In the end, you'll come up with new ideas. That's how farming can work for you. But these things of us thinking that, oh, because so-and-so does it this way, because so-and-so does it this way, this is what I should do. No. Go ahead and do your own research. I like Madame Boji, for she is one of those people who likes research, and she will tell you that for her, when she was beginning, she was always reading and noting down things. I encourage you to do that. Try out new things, try out new feeds, and see if they are going to work for you. If they don't work, please just abandon them because they may endanger your animals. But if they work, well, you will have found another method of keeping animals, and then you can share with the rest of us. That's how farming should be. Farming should be like any other thing in this world, where we keep on inventing new ways, where we keep on finding new things. There we will be able to develop this business of farming. But if we are going to stick to one thing, or someone says this is the way of building a goat house, or this is the way of feeding your animals, or this is good for your animals, no. Let's try and look for new things. That's how we are going to develop as farmers. Because every time you find something new, you elevate the farming field, and then we'll be learning a lot from you. Also, I encourage you not to withhold information. Someone recently reached out to me and asked, why don't you just put this information together and start selling it to people? But why? My goal here is to sell goats, not to sell information. So whatever I find out and it works, I'll give to people free of charge, because tomorrow I'll need their information. Well, if you're not selfish enough, I know you will share with me when that time comes. But if you're selfish, of course, you will not share. But I doubt that someone can withhold information. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being here. Remember to subscribe to our channel to always encourage us and motivate us to give you more of this information as we grow and as we go on. Until next time, see you then.